It is time now for the Muletrain News Program on this Thursday, February the 20th, 2020, brought to you today by the First Bank, along with Leal's Mexican Restaurant. Memorial service for Joseph Allen Crandall III, 50 of Muleshoe, was held yesterday, Wednesday morning, February 19, 2020, at the Bailey County Coliseum Meeting Room. Joseph died Wednesday, February the 12th in Muleshoe. He was born June 27, 1969 in Annapolis, Maryland, to Joseph Allen and Donna Wood Crandall II. He married Cassandra Scott in Reno, Nevada on October 22, 1988. Joe served in the U.S. Air Force during Desert Storm. He worked for 5 Area Telephone in Muleshoe for many years. Joseph was considered a jack of all trades and was an excellent craftsman. He was also an avid fisherman. Joe is survived by his wife, Cassie, 2 daughters, Nicole Parks, and her husband, Jesse, of White Deer, Brittany Crandall of Lubbock, and his parents, his brother, Jason Crandall, and 5 grandchildren, Sheridan, Shaylin, Addie, Kaysen, and Ellie. The family suggests memorials be sent to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, 200 Vesey Street, 28th floor, New York, 10281, or the American Cancer Society, 3411 73rd Street, Lubbock, Texas, 79423, or the International Chari Association, 27 West Anamapu Street, number 340, Santa Barbara, California, 93101. Online condolences can be made at ellisfuneralhomes.com. And please keep the family of Joe Crandall on your prayer list today. Again, his memorial service was held yesterday on Wednesday, February the 19th, at the Bailey County Coliseum Meeting Room. Funeral service for Pedro Pacheco Sr. will be held Friday, February the 28th, next week at 11 in the morning at the Templo LBN Pastor here in Muleshoe. Pedro died on Sunday, February the 16th, here in Muleshoe. He was born November the 26th, 1936, in Mexico to Jose Guadalupe and Tomasa Ramirez Torres Pacheco. He married Benigna R. Ramirez and Jesus Del Monte in Mexico on January the 8th, 1958. Pedro loved to help people, also loved his animals. He enjoyed going to the Senior Citizen Center and treasured his friends. He also enjoyed working with his backhoe. He is preceded in death by his parents and one son, Juan Ramon Pacheco. Pedro is survived by his wife, Benigna, his 3 sons, Pedro Pacheco Jr. and his wife, Hilda of Sudan, Juan Pacheco and his wife, Dinah of Muleshoe, and Martin Pacheco and his wife, Diana of Muleshoe. His 3 daughters, Maria Richards and her husband, Michael of Sudan, Lupe Pacheco and her husband, Armando Herrera of Muleshoe, Carolina Reyna and her husband, George of Edinburgh, his 3 sisters, Paula Pacheco, Maria Guerrero, and Juana Guerrero, all of Mexico, 5 brothers, Elpidio Pacheco of Muleshoe, Domingo Pacheco, Jesus Pacheco, Bernardo Pacheco, and Lorenzo Pacheco, all of Mexico, 21 grandchildren and 46 great-grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandchild, all survived Pedro Pacheco. And repeating, the funeral service for Pedro Pacheco Sr. will be held next week, Friday, February the 28th at 11 in the morning in the Templo LBN Pastor here in Muleshoe. Please keep the Pacheco family on your prayer list today. Memorial service for C.C. Matthews, 91 of Lubbock, formerly of Lasbuddy, was held 2 o'clock Saturday last weekend, February the 15th, at the Ellis Funeral Home Chapel with Jack Thompson of Buffalo Springs Lake officiating. Burial was in the Muleshoe Memorial Park. C.C. died Thursday, February the 13th in Lubbock. He was born April the 5th, 1928 in Southland, Texas, to Clarence Cecil and Georgia Estelle Bradshaw Matthews. He married Barbara Ann Ivy in Muleshoe on August the 31st, 1946. C.C. farmed and ranched for many years in the Lasbuddy community. During his time there, he was a member of the Lasbuddy Church of Christ. After moving to Lubbock, he became a member of the Buffalo Springs Community Church. C.C. is preceded in death by his wife, Barbara Ann, his parents, 1 infant son, Darrell Dean Matthews, and 2 sisters, Evelyn Matthews and Joe Matthews. C.C. is survived by his 2 sons, Gary Matthews and his wife, Carolyn of Grand Prairie, and Darrell Matthews and his wife, Trina of Dimmitt. His daughter, Angela Dunn, and her husband Lance of Lubbock, and 7 grandchildren: Curtis Matthews, Brenna Price, Tori Harris, Zach Matthews, Kyler Dunn, Zane Matthews, Kagan King, and his 9 great-grandchildren: Maddox, Teague, Saxon, Jason, Bryn, Parker, Bryant, Rollins, and Kinsler all survive him. The family suggests memorials be sent to the Muleshoe Memorial Cemetery, P.O. Box 373, Muleshoe, Texas 79347. Of course, online condolences can be made at ellisfuneralhomes.com. Please keep the family of C.C. Matthews on your prayer list today. Dylan Noble, 19, died on February the 2nd in Wilmington, North Carolina. He was born March the 30th, 2000, in Pensacola, Florida. He loved the beach and hanging out with his family and friends. Prior to his spinal cord injury, Dylan was an avid video gamer. He enjoyed skateboarding, hiking, and kayaking. He is survived by his mother, Michelle Noble, and her fiancé, James Sellers, a sister, Delaney Noble, maternal grandparents, Phil and Shirley Bumgarner, paternal grandparents, Danny Noble and Cynthia Haynes, an uncle, Philip Bumgarner, and wife, Stephanie, his devoted canine companion, Roxy, and also he is survived by a great-grandmother here in Muleshoe, Betty Noble. He was preceded in death by his father, Johnny Noble. Of course, that happened recently. In lieu of flowers, memorial contributions can be made to the Sheltering Arms Foundation to support the Sheltering Arms Institute, a spinal cord rehabilitation center in Glen Allen, Virginia. The address online is shelteringarms.com/donate. A memorial service was held on February the 8th in North Carolina, and online condolences can be made at www.peacocknewmanwhite.com. Please keep the family of Dylan Noble on your prayer list today. Well, the Lady Mules ended their basketball season Monday night in Friendship in the bi-district round of the playoffs as they fell to the Shallowater Phillies 77-33, but congratulations to the Lady Mules for making it into the playoffs. They were 4th place in District 1-3A and finished with a district record of 9-5 and overall 20-11. The Mules finish up their basketball season Tuesday here at MHS by beating Freona 65-44, which leaves them with a District 1-3A record of 3-11 and 9-20 overall. So now we're in full swing on baseball, softball, tennis, golf, and track season as they are going with their first scrimmage games now here on the horizon. The Bailey County Senior Center here in Muleshoe, Maine, and Avenue D invites you to come and shop and eat with them this Saturday morning beginning at 7 a.m. as they will have a pancake breakfast from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday, February the 22nd. Their garage sale will be going on as well starting at 7 a.m. until the crowds stop coming in the afternoon. Of course, all ages are welcome. On the pancake breakfast, they'll be serving sausage, pancakes, bacon, coffee, orange juice, milk, flavored syrups, and sugar-free syrups. Donations are greatly appreciated. Pancake breakfast is $5 per person and $3 for children and under. Whatever doesn't sell in the garage sale, the 22nd, will be available half price Friday, February 28th, from beginning at 2 in the afternoon, and Saturday, February 29th, 7 a.m. until the crowds stop coming. And they have a huge selection of furniture and clothing, knickknacks, kitchenware, and home decor pieces, all available, donated at the Senior Center in their big garage sale. And pancake breakfast is this Saturday, February 22nd, beginning at 7 a.m. in the morning. Everyone is welcome to come see what all they have and enjoy a pancake breakfast as well. We'll be back with more Muletrain news in just a few moments. First, a message from our sponsors, the First Bank, along with Leal's Mexican Restaurant. Take control of your First Bank of Muleshoe debit card right from your smartphone with the My Mobile Money app. It's customizable card monitoring and controls that help you manage your accounts with My Mobile Money app. You can set interactive controls to help monitor activity and prevent unauthorized use. You can turn your card on or off, set alerts, and deny transactions based on merchant or transaction type and location. Monitor and control dependent cardholder usage. Receive notifications of possible fraudulent transactions and take action. Deposit checks through your phone. Download the My Mobile Money app now at the App Store or Google Play. For more information, you can also call the First Bank here in Muleshoe, 806-272-4515, or go by 202 South First Street. The First Bank right here in Muleshoe, offering the My Mobile Money app. Available at the App Store or Google Play. Call the First Bank here in Muleshoe, 806-272-4515, or go by 202 South First Street. The First Bank, member FDIC.
Liao's, pure yummy goodness. They have cheese, and more cheese. Mexican food is tested to the limits once you get into Liao's. Come to 1010 West American Boulevard in Muleshoe, Texas to get the best Tex-Mex from around the world.
It's time to get some seeds sprouting, and Frying Cock's 401 South First Street in Muleshoe can help you, as they have in stock windowsill greenhouses, pellet greenhouses, self-watering greenhouses, and more, so you can get a jump on your spring garden. They also have a nice selection of Miracle Grow potting mixes, seed starter, indoor potting, and cactus potting soils, along with Jiffy pots. They have a great selection of seeds, including sweet corn, cantaloupe, peas, watermelons, black-eyed peas, turnips, radishes, and many more varieties. Wedding gift selections for Leslie Allen and Colt Ellis, now available at Frying Cock's as the showers February 29th. They have expanded their selection of Lodge cast iron, American-made since 1896. These are the right tools to sear, saute, bake, broil, or braise. They also have Lodge cast iron Dutch ovens, regular and camp, casserole and skillet pans, Riverside griddles, and corn stick pans, now in at Frying Cock's, 401 South First Street, Muleshoe, Texas. They're open Monday through Saturdays, 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. Well, the deadline to file as a candidate has passed on the Saturday, May 2nd general election, and they had 10 candidates sign up for a place on the ballot. In the city general election, Earl Behrens, the incumbent, signed up for District 3, and Gary Parker, the incumbent, signed up for District 4, so the city will be canceling their general election, as no of those seats races are opposed. The city will have a special election, though, for the reauthorization of the local sales and use tax in the city of Muleshoe at the rate of 0.25% to continue providing revenue for maintenance and repair of municipal streets. The tax expires on the 4th anniversary of the date of this election unless the imposition of the tax is reauthorized. Then in the Muleshoe Area Hospital District, Gail Richardson, the incumbent, signed up for District 1. Landon Nichols, the incumbent, signed up for District 3. And Zona Gatewood, the incumbent, signed up for District 5. So the hospital will cancel their general election. The hospital will have a special election with two propositions: the levy of annual taxes by the Board of Directors of the Muleshoe Area Hospital District for hospital purposes at a rate not to exceed 60 cents on each $100 valuation of all taxable property in the district, subject to the hospital district taxation. Then the second proposition will be the issuance of $9 million of bonds by the Muleshoe Area Hospital District for hospital facilities and the levying of a tax in payment thereof. If you want to know more about these two special propositions on the ballot for the May 2nd general election for the hospital, go to our website, muleshoetv.com. Under the latest videos tab, we did film a few weeks ago a city town or a town hall by the hospital board where they answered a lot of the questions about what this is for. Muleshoe ISD, Corey Contreras filed for District 2 along with incumbent Curtis Preston. Jeff King, the incumbent, signed up to run for District 3. Jesus Tovar, the incumbent, signed for District 5. And Kevin Morris, the incumbent, signed up for the at-large position. So the school will cancel the general election for 3 and 5. and then they will hold the District 2 race between Corey Contreras and the incumbent Curtis Preston, again for District 2 on the MISD. The last day to register to vote for the May 2nd election is April the 2nd. Early voting will be held April the 20th through April the 28th, and then the general election date will be Saturday, May the 2nd, 2020. All voting will take place at City Hall. If you want more information, see Zana Carpenter, the city secretary at City Hall here in town. Going on right now, though, you can vote early in the Texas primary elections, either in the Democratic or the Republican sides. All early voting is going on now through Friday, February the 28th at the Bailey County Courthouse in the second floor. Election day will be Tuesday, March the 3rd, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. at the Bailey County Coliseum. And this is whether you are voting on the Democratic primary or the Republican primary. Some of the things on the Democratic primary ballot include for president, Tulsi Gabbard, Cory Booker, Deval Patrick, Joseph Biden, Michael Bloomberg, Andrew Yang, Rocky De La Fuente, John Delaney, Amy Klobuchar, Michael Bennett, Pete Buttigieg, Tom Steyer, Robbie Wells, Marianne Williamson, Julian Castro, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. Then there's a place on the ballot for U.S. Senator. U.S. Representative District 19, Tom Watson, is running as a Democrat. In the State Railroad Commissioner, Kelly Stone is running against Mark Watson and Roberto Beto Alonso, along with Crystal Castaneda. Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Amy Meacham and Jerry Zimmer. Justice U.S. Supreme Court Place 6, Larry Prager and Kathy Chang. State Supreme Court Place 7, Stacey Williams and Brandy Voss. Justice Supreme Court Place 8, Gisela Triana and Peter Kelly. Judge Court of Criminal Appeals Place 3, Dan Wood, Elizabeth Frizzell, and William Demond. Court of Criminal Appeals Judge Place 4, Tina Clinton and Stephen Mears. Judge Court of Criminal Appeals Place 9, Brandon Birmingham. Member State Board of Education District 15 is John Betancourt, and that's all in the Democratic primary ballot here in Bailey County. There's also 11 propositions as well on that, and you vote early now at the Bailey County Courthouse on the second floor through Friday, February the 28th. In the Republican primary ballot for president is Donald Trump, Joe Walsh, Bill Weld, Rocky De La Fuente Guerra, Zoltan Isfan, Matthew Matern, Bob Ely, and then a box for uncommitted. In the U.S. Senator race on the Republican side, Virgil Burchwell, John Castro, Dwayne Stovall, John Cornyn, and Mark Yancey. For U.S. Representative District 19, Jody Arrington and Vance Boyd. In the State Railroad Commissioner race on the Republican primary, Jim Wright and Ryan Sitton. Chief Justice Supreme Court, Nathan Hecht. Supreme Court Place 6, Jane Bland. In State Supreme Court Place 7, Jeff Boyd. Place 8, Brett Busby. Court of Criminal Appeals Judge Place 3, Gina Parker and Bert Richardson. Judge Court of Criminal Appeals Place 4, Kevin Patrick Urey. Court of Criminal Appeals Judge Place 9, David Newell. Member Board of Education District 15, Jay Johnson. District 88 State Rep Ken King is unopposed. Chief Justice 7th Court of Appeals District is Brian Quinn. Justice 7th Court of Criminal Appeals District Place 4, Larry Doss and Stephen Denny. State District Attorney 278th Judicial District, Catherine Horton Gurley. Our county attorney race is unopposed, Jackie Claiborne II, and the incumbent. And then we will have a sheriff race here in Bailey County between Richard Wills and Benny Parker on the Republican primary ballot. County Tax Assessor Collector Maria Gonzalez, County Constable Kent Wiley, unopposed. And then two county commissioner precinct races Precinct 1 and Precinct 3. So if you're in one of the other two precincts, you won't have this on your ballot. But in Precinct 1, Gary Don Garton is on the ballot, and Cody Black, both incumbents in Precinct 3, both unopposed. Then the county chair race is unopposed, and Carol Precure. There are 10 propositions on the ballot as well on the Republican side. And if you want a handy voter guide for all those propositions, along with all the races and the candidates for those races, head over to the League of Women Voters online at lwv.org, as they put out a primary voters guide for Texas on both the Republican and Democratic primary ballots. Again, the early voting for this primary is going on now through Friday, February 28th. Go to the Bailey County Courthouse on either of the two elections, Republican or Democratic, in the second floor of the courthouse. And then Election Day is Tuesday, March the 3rd, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. Of course, Texas has joined the Super Tuesday, March 3rd primary date. And you vote here in Bailey County at the Bailey County Coliseum on primary election day. The second grade PE program will be held Thursday, March the 5th at the Watson Junior High Gym at 6 p.m. Everyone is welcome to come and see Mrs. Skipworth's PE programs from Dillman Elementary, and the second grade perform their program Thursday, March 5th, 6 p.m. at the Watson Junior High Gym. We will be there to film that. We'll be back with more Muletrain news in just a few moments, so please stay tuned. Since 1925, AIM Bank is proud to be one of the largest locally owned and operated banks in West Texas. Our expert bankers have an in-depth understanding of the local economy, and we are proud to provide our customers with quick local loan decisions. At AIM Bank, we know that strong local partnerships are crucial for growth and success. Investing in you has been our focus from day one. We provide the latest in technology for your online and mobile banking with features like mobile check deposit. At AIM Bank, we care about your accounts as much as you do, so we pride ourselves on real personal attention because we are also your neighbor. We invite you to come in and experience the real personal attention AIM Bank has to offer. We want to know you because we live, work, and raise our families right here in Muleshoe too. AIM Bank is committed to making a difference in the communities we serve. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Help us welcome to Muleshoe Dr. Kenneth Burke. Kenneth Burke, DO, is now practicing full-time in the medical clinic of Muleshoe and is ready to see patients. For an appointment, call today, 806-272-7544. Dr. Burke was born in De Leon, Texas, and went through Corpus Christi and Lubbock on his path to Muleshoe for his undergraduate training. And then in the U.S. Navy, he was responsible for mobilization and security of the medical and chaplain team. Shawnee, Georgia for medical school, and then Jersey City, New Jersey for his medical internship and family practice residency. Welcome to Muleshoe, Dr. Burke. He's purchased a home here and ready to make Muleshoe home again. For an appointment, call the Medical Clinic of Muleshoe, 806-272-7544. Help us welcome Kenneth Burke, DO, to Muleshoe. Re-elect Republican Richard Wills for the Bailey County Sheriff. Early voting is going on today through February the 28th at the Bailey County Courthouse on the second floor. The primary election date is Tuesday, March 3rd at the Bailey County Coliseum. Richard Wills has 25 years law enforcement experience, a degree in law enforcement technology from South Plains College, a master peace officer's license from the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, and a law enforcement instructor's license from the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Richard says, I've worked hard to develop a great relationship with the U.S. Marshal Service to keep our Bailey County Jail occupied. Again, re-elect Republican Richard Wills for Bailey County Sheriff. Early voting is going on now through February the 28th at the Bailey County Courthouse. Primary election day is Tuesday, March 3rd at the Bailey County Coliseum. Your vote and support is appreciated. Political ad paid for by Richard Wills. Well, going on today at Muleshoe High School on Thursday, February the 20th, The Tulia Invitational Golf Tournament for the Lady Mules is going on today, all day today. Then the Lady Mules softball team will be in a tournament at Slayton on Friday, February 21st. Lady Mule softball tournament in Slayton continues. Then FCCLA will have their regional meet in Lubbock on Friday and Saturday. At 4:30 Friday afternoon, JV and varsity baseball will be in action at Brownfield. On Saturday, February 22nd, UIL solo and ensemble contests for band members will be at Coronado High School. Powerlifting members will be in a meet at Seagraves. Lady Mules softball in action again at the tournament in Slayton. And then on Monday, February 24th, JV baseball will be in action at 4:30 at Lubbock against Lubbock Christian here in Muleshoe. At 6 p.m., the varsity will take the field against Lubbock Christian here in Muleshoe as well. The FFA will meet 6 o'clock Monday after evening. Then on Tuesday next week, February 25th, MHS tennis will be in action at Leveland all day. At 5 p.m., JV and varsity Lady Mules softball will be take the field at sundown. So good luck to all these MHS activities going on over the next several days. The Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association has a scholarship available now. Applications are due Friday, April the 3rd at 5 p.m. at the Bailey County Electric Cooperative office here in Muleshoe, located at 610 East American Boulevard. Or you can take it by their Morton office, located at 1744 State Highway 114. Applications can be picked up at either of those two locations as well. Eligibility requirements and application packets are available to print off at on their website, bcecoop.com. Click on the Community tab, and also the scholarship application packets are available at all area high school counselors' offices. The BCEC scholarship is available to any BCEC member student. And again, the deadline to get that application in is Friday, April the 3rd by 5 p.m. at the Muleshoe office, 610 East American Boulevard, or the Morton office, 1744 State Highway 114. Today, on Thursday, February the 20th, the First United Methodist Church is having their annual Soul Stew Supper, and they'll be delivering it to local area people free of charge, of course, late in the afternoon today and early evening. If you know of someone that would benefit from this stew supper, please call us here at Channel 6, 806-566-5881. It's for all those that are sick and shut in and elderly here in the Muleshoe area. Well, the Bailey County Senior Center has co-sponsors of the week, and writing about their first co-sponsor is Carolyn Johnson, the director at the Senior Center. It's Darwin Mac McLeod. I'd like to say up front that writing this story was most enjoyable. Maybe that's because Mac is and always will be Mac. Mac is the kind of individual that you just know has always lived well, laughed often, and loved much. He gives the best he's had and looks for the best in others. He is intelligent, funny, and never tires of talking. His life is a story and a quest that began in the small town of Florence, Texas, where he was born. He was one of 7 siblings born to William McLeod and Ada Mae Williams. At the age of 3, he and his entire family moved to West Texas. At the age of 6, Mac enrolled in the Lasbuddy schools and stayed there until moving to Spring Lake his freshman year. He stayed there until his junior year after basketball season. The family then moved to Texaco. It was there that Mac graduated from high school. He told me that he never really planned his life. The good Lord just put me in the right place at the right time, he said. After high school, Mac joined the Navy. After serving 4 years in the Navy, Mac returned to his family, who had now moved to Cisco and enrolled in Cisco Junior College. While at college, he found out that his roommate had cousins working in the Alaskan oil fields. The cousins shared with Mac the beauty of Alaska, as well as the great salaries they were paid there to work. Needless to say, The two roommates made a decision to leave college behind and go explore the money and beauty found only in Alaska. Upon arrival, both found jobs in the big oil rigs there and began raking in the money. They got involved with some rig hands there who also owned a commercial fishing boat. They learned from those hands that in Alaska, workers had summer wages and winter wages. In both seasons, they worked on the rigs and they fished. Mac loved fishing, so he and his buddy jumped at that opportunity to work on the boats. Mac didn't see this as work at all. Fishing was a pleasure to him, and since God was smart enough to put him in Alaska, he should be smart enough to do what he loved most. So Mac saved his money, and in 2 years he bought his own fishing boat. He hired a commercial fisherman to run the boat for him. Mac then fished on his own boat as a deckhand for 2 years until he got enough money to get his own commercial license. Mac was totally happy. He loved the commercial fishing. He loved being the captain of the boat. He loved the money, and he loved being in Alaska. Mac recalls that on his first day to arrive in Alaska, a gentleman told him he needed a much heavier coat than the one he was wearing, so he sent his daughter into the house to bring out a heavy coat and gave it to Mac. He then said, "Mac, if you learn to play in this, you'll stay in this." Statistics at the time showed that 92% of the people who went to Alaska stayed there. Max said that he literally fell in love with Alaska. "It captures your heart and its people and its beauty," he added. Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Mac was no exception. After conquering the rigs and the fishing boats, Mac took a liking to the dog sled races. His dream was to race in the top two, the Iditarod, which was 1,120 miles, and the Yukon Quest, which was 1,021 miles. Like the fishing boats and oil rigs, he started asking questions, observing and saving his money. Soon he had a full team for mushing. He raced a lot, and he reached his goal of racing in those top two races. He came in 7th place in the Yukon Quest. A total of 34 sleds were entered, and he placed number 22 out of 84 in the Iditarod. In 1987, Mac lost his wife to cancer. Later, due to his mom and dad's health, he moved back to West Texas to be with his family. He was a very active member of he's a very active member of the Calvary Baptist Church. He enjoys telling that he committed his life to Christ at age 34. His life is a portrayal of his Christian character. He is also a member of the Bailey County Senior Citizens Board. He's very active, and Mac is truly a breath of fresh air out at the center. He is most supportive and cooperative and wants what is best for the center. He really enjoys the center and is a big part of his life. He says that the center is very beneficial to him, and he knows it is for others as well. Mac has 5 granddaughters, ages 14 to 25. He has a passion for restoring old classic cars and trucks. One of his sisters, Pat Kirk, is in Muleshoe, and he enjoys living close to her. But he says at times he still wants to be back in Alaska. Nothing compares to its beauty, and he has a longing to do it again. Until then, he works to cultivate a cloak of ordinariness here in Muleshoe. But he is anything but ordinary. I would go so far as to say Darwin Mac McLeod is utterly unique. Thank you, Mac, for sharing your story and your financial support to the Sponsor of the Week program. And then, of course, Carolyn Johnson, the director, writing about the other co-sponsor of the week is Lucy Bachicha. She's a lady who has proven to be balanced. She's confident, bold, accepting, and kind. She is a tireless worker and is a mother of 7, grandmother of 16, and the great-grandmother of 20. Lucy says this with a large family, she has to be bold and balanced. Lucy was born into a family of 13 siblings. She was number 7, right in the middle, and of her 12 brothers and sisters. She was born in the city of Las Vegas, New Mexico. They were raised on a farm, and all of the children played a role in working on the farm as they grew older. At age 16, she married George Bachicha and moved to Morton. They lived in Morton for 2 years and then moved to Needmore, where they raised their 7 children. Their 4 girls and 3 boys all attended Sudan schools until 1975, and they moved to Muleshoe. To date, 10 of her 12 siblings and 7 children are still living. After moving to Muleshoe, Lucy worked in a sewing factory here in town. For approximately 3 years, she worked at Leal's and at Allsup's. She also worked as a dietary aide at the Muleshoe Hospital for 8 years. When her parents were aging and having health problems, she moved to Albuquerque to stay with them. After the last one passed away in 2006, she moved back to Muleshoe. Shortly after returning, she suffered a light stroke. It was at this point in her life that she retired and started coming to the Muleshoe Senior Center. She became very involved in the center and enjoyed the fellowship and daily activities here. In 2018, she became a member of the board of directors. She certainly adds value to the board. She and I share a common interest, which is get the job done. Lucy tells me that the Senior Center is her second home. She loves coming here every day. Lucy works tirelessly at their events. She is especially gifted with her sales ability. She is always one of the first persons we mention when a raffle is being planned. Lucy is also very active at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church. She loves to cook and bake. She not only uses her cooking skills to share with her friends, but also uses it to help out with funeral meals and even fundraisers for the church. Besides doing lots of baking for her family and friends, Lucy also loves to sew. She also loves the outdoors and gardening. Lucy spends most of the summer days outside in her garden. She loves the pretty flowers and also enjoys her vegetable garden, her favorites being tomatoes, chili peppers, and asparagus. She loves where she now lives out in the country. She raises chickens, and at one time she had 200 chickens and 30 roosters. She now has downsized to 10 chickens and 2 roosters. She mainly raises them to enjoy their beauty and to keep her in eggs. But what Lucy really enjoys the most is fun time spent with her grandchildren. She tells the story of one night when she spent the night at her daughter's home in Bovina. She was sitting in her car parked in front of her garage. As Lucy tells it, as my granddaughter was about to back up, I started grabbing my granddaughter's hand and screamed that we were sinking. It really appeared as though the car was sinking into the ground. My grandson had pushed the button to raise the garage door. To me, I really thought we were in a sinkhole. They had a good laugh on me. A day with my grandchildren is always a fun day. And how do I describe Lucy? As the down-to-earth West Texas gal who was always willing to help me when I first came to this job. She has a great sense of humor and an uncommon willingness to bare her heart. She is a good, decent, generous, just a very likable woman. She's had her setbacks and hard times, but has remained true to herself and her friends and her devoted family. After all, that is what really matters, and that is what sustains her today. Co-sponsor of the week, Lucy Bachicha. And we forgot to mention on Mac McLeod, he was the first co-sponsor. He will be featured in Sounds of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith in the first week of March, so look for that coming up the first of next month. It is time now for the weather forecasts. First, a message from our sponsor, K&K Pharmacy. K&K Pharmacy right here in Muleshoe at 1411 West American Boulevard, where Christine K. or any of their helpful employees want to help you get rid of your weekly pill box. Find out how K&K Pharmacy can simplify your meds with the K-Pack Custom Medication Packaging Program, available now at 1411 West American Boulevard. Call them 806-272-7511. K-Pack Custom Medication Packaging, available now at K&K Pharmacy, where they can simplify your meds and get rid of your weekly pill box. Well, chilly day on tap today for this Thursday, as it's only 28 degrees as of noon here in Muleshoe at Channel 6. Looking at this afternoon for Thursday, partly sunny, high near 33 degrees. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then partly cloudy Thursday night with a low around 25. East-northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming south after midnight. Friday, mostly sunny, high near 48 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 30. Saturday, a 30% chance of showers, mainly in the afternoon hours, mostly cloudy, high near 61, so warming up very nicely for Saturday with a 30% chance of rain in the afternoon. Southwest winds around 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, a 40% chance of showers, mainly after midnight, mostly cloudy, low around 40. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, it's going to be another nice day, except the wind is going to get up, mostly sunny, high near 62 degrees. Windy conditions with the southwest wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour, becoming west 25 to 30 miles per hour. Sunday afternoon, winds could gust as high as 40 miles per hour during the day. Sunday night, mostly clear, low around 29. Windy conditions again with a northwest wind 25 to 30 miles per hour, decreasing after midnight, but winds could gust as high as 40 miles per hour. Sunny on Monday, beginning next week, high near 61 degrees, northwest winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Monday night, mostly clear, low around 27. Sunny on Tuesday, high near 49 degrees. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low around 19. Then sunny on Wednesday, high near 43. And K&K Pharmacy has presented to you this edition of the weather forecast. Remember on your prayer list today those grieving families who've recently lost a loved one. We do understand that last week on Thursday, February the 13th, David Lewis died. He was in the MHS class of 1994. Hopefully next week in the Muletrain we'll have a full obit on David Lewis, but please keep the Lewis family on your prayer list today. Pedro Pacheco Sr., the family of C.C. Matthews and Jasper Woodson, family of Melba Clark and Socorro Gallegos, Maria Ruvalcaba, the family of Joe Crandall and Faye Boland, Dylan Noble, Guadalupe Ortega, the family of Delbert Lingnow and Travis Nell, Maria Dello, Raymundo Falcone, the family of Eloise Cano and Pat Wilson, the family of Leon Warren and Pancho Ibarra, the family of Ruth Tucker and Greg Moten, the family of Wanda Kemp and Virginia Kirk, the family of Butch Vandiver and Robert Hooten, Jimmy Shirey, the family of Donnie Clayton, and Guadalupe Ortega. On your prayer list today, remember Becky Hawksbergen and Ray Precure, both fighting cancer, Brianne Williams, who had knee surgery. Remember Harold Redwine, please, on your prayer list. Judy Lambert, who is now in assisted living called Promised Land in Lubbock. Remember Stanley Wilson and Marilyn Cox. Keep Ronnie Dinn on your prayer list today. Remember Eddie Morris, who has recently been dismissed from our local hospital. Keep his wife as well, Gail, on your prayer list today. Karen Chambers of Brownfield, the mother of Chance Holsom Muleshoe. Remember Hector Flores on your prayer list. Matthew Alicon and Patty Ken, our sweetheart. Remember J.W. Harrington on your prayer list today, and Butch and Judy Cox. Well, it's just about time for us to go on this edition of the Muletrain News, brought to you today by the First Bank, along with Leal's Mexican Restaurant. You can hear our Muletrain News programs free of charge on demand on our website, muleshoetv.com. Click on the Muletrain News link at the top center of the page.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith, Billy Dixon's famous long shot. Details in a moment on the Sound of Texas.
The Sound of Texas is brought to you here on MuleshoeTV.com by Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, with offices in Muleshoe at 610 East American Boulevard, as well as in Morton at 1744 State Highway 114. They're celebrating rural electrification right here in the Muleshoe area through Bailey County Electric since 1939. They are owned by the members that they serve. Call 806-272-4504. Check them out online at BCEC. COOP.com. The board of directors, the members, the employees, the manager, CEO David Markle, all hope you enjoy this Sound of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith.
Bill O'Neill of Carthage has just completed a book on Billy Dixon, one of a group of buffalo hunters from Dodge City, Kansas, who drifted into the Texas Panhandle. It was 1874, and Indians ruled the plains. Once a band of 600 warriors attacked the hunters at a small settlement called Adobe Walls.
They struck there at dawn, and they almost got those guys. And they had a firefight on their hand. It was a furious battle for about half an hour. All these buffalo hunters had to go to their revolvers because they had to have a greater rate of fire. The buffalo gun, the huge, powerful Sharps Big 50s were breech loaders, single-shot breech loaders. And they had to go to their pistols to have enough of a rate of fire to drive these guys off. And it was touch and go for just a little while.
They drove off the Indians, but a group of them gathered on a mesa nearly a mile away.
Somebody said, "Billy, why don't you see if you can get one of those guys?" There were about 15 of them. And the word ran around, Dixon's going to try to shoot these Indians. They did not have telescopic sights, and to shoot as far as they were, it was 7/8 of a mile. And he elevated the gun, and of course windage out there had to be allowed for, and he did all of that. Everybody's watching, and so there's a lot of pressure on him. He fired that thing, and it would have taken about 4-point-some-odd seconds to get there. This shot has been tried multiple times. He was going to have to drop the shell right down into the middle of the group, see what he could do. And lo and behold, he hit it, and a warrior was knocked off his horse at this incredible distance, and the Indians scattered, and there wasn't any more of that. They hardly saw any more of them.
Bill, a former official state historian, has written 48 books. His biography of Billy Dixon is titled Billy and Olive Dixon, the Plainsman and His Lady. Bill has been to the site of the long shot.
Whatever distance you figure out, it was something, and it is the most celebrated shot in Western history.
Bill O'Neill of Carthage. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the Sound of Texas.